Welcome back, everybody, to another video. I was about to say video review. It's not. It's another art video, time-lapse drawing. Today, it's Zidane, the design, but it's Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. Just the Dissidia design. If you're wondering what the Dissidia design is, this is it. This is it. No, this is based on like the drawing design for Zidane in Dissidia, which is basically sort of like Final Fantasy's version of Smash. All the characters from all the Final Fantasy games come together and fight. Kind of, not really. It's mainly the good guys versus the bad guys from all the video games. There's some story about chaos and the good one, the goddess thingy majig, and a dragon and something or other. Who cares about that? Zidane, Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX being the best Final Fantasy there is. You can fight me over it, but you know I'm right. The last one on the PlayStation 1. It's the one that they finally got right with all the character models, the backgrounds, and it all looks good together. Right, where were we? Oh yes, okay, so this was done right after the Nell and I can't remember her name. Basically the Bleach Your Ankles free or Espada's free video. Not video, drawing. This was done in like the same stream because I believe I was doing the colouring in a 12-hour stream. I think to celebrate 1,000 followers on Mixer. I could be mistaken. I think it was at that time, but yeah, I remember finishing the colouring quite quickly, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move on to the next drawing, which I already had prepared. But yeah, so this first bit is me been drawing for probably like 12 hours. Not at this point, this is probably more like I've been doing it for 4 hours, but as you can tell, I did the rough line work, primary 2, and now I'm on like primary 3 or something, doing his infamous mage meshes. But yeah, I think at this point I was like, I am not going to cross-hatch, and I'm not going to cross-hatch, and I think later on you realise I did cross-hatching again, even though it almost killed me doing it on the Bleach drawing, as you probably heard me say in the last video. But no, it's now something I do very often, which is fine. It's fine. There's a lot of be right backs in these videos. Lazy when this video was made months ago, and I'm just rewatching it now all time-lapsed up. Now I get rid of the be right backs, so it's mainly just the drawing. But yeah. Let's get back to the drawing. So yeah, I'm just going over all the, I think they're called the mage meshes, and apparently fixing my audio, music, listening to music in stream. I'm trying to, as you can see here, I'm kind of going over it and deciding how thick the line should be, and trying to make it more, I'm going to say cartoony, cel-shaded, comic book-like. So let's go with that. So certain lines are thicker than others. The outer lines should all be thick, and then if an object is meant to be on top of something else, then that top object needs to have thicker lines than the bottom object. So on and so forth, just adding some detail here and there. God, the amount of belts on this design, I believe when I was working on this, somebody came in and was like, there's like way too much belts on this character. I'm like, yeah, that's Tetsuya Nomura for you. He really likes belts. If you look at the Lulu design from Final Fantasy X, she has a dress made of belts. So the fact this guy's, well, thanks video. I was recording the comment as it was actually happening in the video. I'm not sure if time's going to match up, because I think this video's at a higher frame rate than what I'm actually recording at. We'll see if it matches up. It probably won't in post, so that's gonna be fine. But yeah, the character designer really likes belts for some reason. I also noticed a lot of anime, certain illustrators really like putting belts into their designs as well. I don't know, it's belts for days, I guess. Just drawing, doing the hair now, trying to make it more flowy, I guess, while getting a load of hosts. And that was Discord messaging me. And that's my phone telling me that I've got a Discord message. Well, something's posted in Discord. Yay. Doing the eyes here, and no, eating a bean here, and then drinking, and going back to do the eyes. Trying to work out how thick I want the lines to be, how I want them to look. Getting a spaghetti monster apparently. Trying to do his... I'm not even sure what that thing is. Yeah, I have no idea. And also, right now you can see I'm kind of laying down the foundation. Another Discord message. Don't worry about it. Trying to lay down the foundation of where I want some of the cross-hatching to be. If you don't know what cross-hatching is, essentially just another way of shading something. Kind of. It's good to use other shade. Oh, okay, now I'm just moving that because I was like, that shouldn't be there. That should be over there. So it's fixing some of my original design flaws in this drawing, and that's why it's good to do like primary, secondary, and tertiary layers. So by the time you're ready to ink it, it's like, yeah, now I know where everything is, and now I can get where everything perfect. It's sort of like, yeah, this is where you can easily make changes to the design and stuff. It's not really, nothing's set in stone. Even in the inking stage, nothing's set in stone, but this is more of like, okay, this is how I really want it to look. I could technically just make the lines darker instead of blue and call it a day, but oh well. Be right back again. Great. Thanks, draft. But should we talk about Final Fantasy IX? I think we still got like 23 minutes left of the video. Oh, okay, now I'm beginning the inking station. You can see I'm pretty much using the previous pencil lines as almost guides of how thick the lines are going to be, and just creating lines over it and using the fill tool. I think I used the fill tool a lot in this drawing just to make them. Again, I'm using the older tablet I had, which is still pretty good for what it is and its price and everything, but yeah, now I have a better tablet, so again, doing this drawing again with the new tablet would be easier. And someone brought some string leech chests. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I'm basically getting the lines down, and I'm going to be cleaning up all those edges and stuff where all the cross intersecting is happening, where the line should end but it's still carrying on, just so I can get a good stroke. Yeah, totally professional here. I don't know what I don't know what I'm saying. Just kick with the drawing. Zidane is probably is my favorite main character from any Final Fantasy. I mean, he kind of starts off the game as happy-go-lucky, which if you started playing during the PlayStation era of Final Fantasy stuff, I mean, we've come off from Squall and Cloud, who are both fairly depressing characters, not really go happy-lucky. I mean, Cloud start off is presented as, I'm ex-soldier, boo-hoo Shinra, I only doing this for the money, blah 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 blah. And then Squall was just a loner, I guess, and to have someone who's like, hey, I'm going to be friends with everyone, hey, it's all going to be fine and stuff, is refreshing. I mean, there is a bit in the story, spoiler alert for a really old game. Okay, yeah, the artwork's back now. That's probably going to be happening in a few times throughout this video. Maybe I should have edited that bit out. But yeah, there's one bit where it turns out Zidane was meant to essentially destroy all life on this world, so his actual race could take over it, and the species that created him. He's essentially an android-ish in this, or yeah, an android who was given a soul, so he finds this out, that he's meant to be the destroyer, the bringer of death, and he goes through a bit of a depressing stage, and everybody who he's uplifted throughout the game comes back, with the main party members are like, hey, you've helped us out, now it's our time to help you out, and it has probably one of the greatest songs in all of video game. Definitely the best song in any Final Fantasy game, You Are Not Alone. That was like the best, that was a massive highlight. In Zidane's terms of character, it's just like that one bit when he's like, oh hey, you're meant to destroy everyone, dude, so get to it. And then everyone's like, yeah, you don't have to do that. And he's like, yeah, you're right, I don't have to do that. Really good bit. Game itself is great, I love it. Zidane's character doesn't really go through much except for that one bit. He spends most of the game happy-go-lucky, encouraging people, helping people, being there for everyone, making them not worried. Like, very early in the game, he basically fights a boss by himself and doesn't mention it to anyone. Yeah, they're in the ice caverns. The whole party gets knocked out. Zidane wakes up because, you know, we don't know at that point, but he's essentially the harbinger of death for this planet, so he's super strong. Wakes up, fights the boss, and then everybody else wakes up, and they're like, well, what happened? He's like, nothing, don't worry about it. You know, his whole character is like, yeah, don't worry, it's all good, nothing to worry about, trying to keep stress down to a minimum for everyone, and take it all on himself. And then when it finally comes crashing down, he has people there who are like, you don't have to burden this all on yourself, for God's sake, let us help out, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Destroying, it's like I said, I'm using the filter a lot just to get the lines right. Yeah, I was definitely going for a very heavy comic book style, heavy inking. More so than the last drawing. Again, I wanted to do this as an easier drawing than the last one, but I think it was only slightly... It was probably the same difficulty, but I had 2 characters drawing the last one, and I only got 1 to do in this one, so... I don't think this is part of the 12-hour stream anymore. I think this is like the next day. I think I haven't really been paying attention. Yeah, I think during this bit, I'm like... Gotta get these line works done, gotta get the thickness done. I don't know what this is, I don't know how I want to shade this. Let's just make these lines thick. Don't know what I was drawing there. Oh yeah, I was trying to work out the thickness of the fill-in mono tool again. Yeah, I guess I went through a few months of just using the fill-in mono tool. Originally I just used the pen tool, and then it was now fill-in mono. Yeah, you eat those beans. And then we'll be right back. Whole third 2012. Oh god, 17 minutes left. I'm running out of things to ramble because I didn't have anything written down, so that's good. Do I talk about how I would do things differently now? Well, I do most things differently now, so I can't really. Yeah, I don't use the fill-in mono tool anymore. I now use. I need to start changing up my pen tools, start making them more the way I want it. I kind of just use the default stuff and hope for the best. Get back to the drawing. Get back to the. Don't worry about the £7. Get back to the drawing. There we go. It's like back then I couldn't do long strokes, so everything had to be very small and tight. God, so many. Look how many belt. I don't think the belt. I think I just did one belt where it just ends. It doesn't really go anywhere. I think I got confused by where the belts goes placements, but yeah, here we're doing some scruff marks and the folding of the material, all that fun stuff. Again, I spend more time on the line work than anything else. For colouring, I kind of just very basic, just like do a blotch here, do a blotch here, here's your basic colour, here's your basic colour, and then create another layer and then change the opacity on that layer and just make it use black for create shades, shadows, all that good stuff. They should be scruff marks, but yeah. This drawing. Okay, clearly the 12-hour stream must be over now, because now I'm back to wearing a different top. So this must be the next day, and after drawing for 12 hours, I'm surprised I'm still drawing again. Actually, it might not be the next day. It probably is. Probably is, because I think I did the 12-hour stream. No. Probably 2 days late or something like that. I would have taken a break if it was a 12-hour stream. Oh well, yeah, keep going, keep drawing, Jarvis, keep drawing, Jarvis, that's it, keep drawing, just keep drawing, there you go. You're almost done, and then you can start the cross-hatching, which you've been debating about all this time. You're like, okay, I won't do as much cross-hatching as I did on the last one. And I think I do tons. Literal tons. There we go, yeah, you fill in that pocket thing. Thank you, Discord, for the message. You're probably not even hearing the Discord messages. I can hear it because I'm wearing the headphones. Oh, are we? Oh, we're at the 16-minute mark. So we're over halfway, and I haven't even started cross-hatching yet. All the colouring. I really need to work on my colouring process and try more experimentation with that rather than just doing flat colours. I think I can do a lot more. Yeah, there's some areas I can improve in, but I'm really liking. I should probably go with a different keychain. And there's his smirk, and there's the swords, and the mage mashers. Huh. I was about to say something, but I completely forgot. Oh yeah, right. Okay, Zidane's character. Yeah, I know I'm talking about his sort of story arc, but Final Fantasy IX really heavily focuses on Zidane's stealing mechanic. The thief class has been in many Final Fantasies, but stealing you didn't really have to worry about. It's sort of like it's there if you want it, but in this game, no, stealing is a major mechanic. I mean, the first encounter you can get some seriously good items, and basically the game encourages you to, every time Zidane or someone is in your party to steal, you want to steal from every boss. Every boss has something decent to steal from. It's not like, oh, I don't have to steal from this boss, I can get a good item later. It's not like, no, you steal from this boss, it's going to set you up later on in the game, like maybe in the next level. So like the thief mechanic in this is like, yeah, the bosses have some very good items. Like, you want to steal from every single boss in this game. As soon as you can get Zidane, they have some pretty good items. That's pretty much it. Like the first encounter you get, you can steal the mage masher's daggers from him, and they're a very good weapon to have early on in the game. And you pretty much need them for the Blackwall Swan fight. But I think, yeah, because by the time you can actually buy the item, it's after the fight, and I think the Mage Mashers have the ability to do more damage to magic users or something. There's like abilities in this game where you can learn abilities from said weapons, and then you can equip them using AP, but you only have a limited amount of AP. And one of them is the Mage Mashers provides the ability to do more damage to magic users, I think. Also, it's just it does more damage than the base daggers you get, so definitely want to get to the Mage Mashers early on, and then you want to buy a couple more when you can finally get them, because Mage Mashers are required to create like 2 weapons. Like synthesis in this game is another major thing. I don't really remember any other. I'm sure there's like other Final Fantasies with synthesis in, like combining 2 items together to make a new item, but this game like really heavily has that, so you want multiples of almost every single item in this game to get some really cool items. In order to get Zidane's ultimate weapon, you clearly need to synthesize some items. Some other ultimate weapons you can just find, like the final part of the game. you can get like 4 characters ultimate weapons, and then some others where you have to play some mini game. It's all over the place, but you know, Synthesis was like really cool back in the day. Yeah, stealing items from enemies or bosses mainly, or the one-off fights that aren't really bosses. You can get some really good stuff early on in the game, and then as you go on through the game, it just like constantly helps you out having to steal from enemies. And I like how utilized the thief mechanic was in this game. It's kind of like a second thought in other Final Fantasy games, but in this game it really is. Yeah, you want to steal stuff, which makes sense if your main character is the thief. You kind of want to evolve it around that. Whereas like in Final Fantasy VI, you had Terra as the main character, and the main focus on that is magic and using espers. It's kind of refreshing. This Final Fantasy IX, compared to the other Final Fantasies on the PlayStation, feels a lot more old school. Like Final Fantasy VII and 8, each character was almost like a blank slate, and the only difference was the weapons they use and their limit breaks. I think that was it. Like, you could basically turn any character you want into like a mage, a healer, a fighter, whatever you want, so you had customization there. In this, every character is a class, so they're not really blank slates, but I feel story-wise that's better, because then their character and their traits reflect their job, like Zidane being the carefree thief, Vivi being the black mage, Garnet or Jagger being the summoner / healer. It's for me, story-wise, it feels better, because then you get attached to the characters, and then you get attached to those classes. So if you like a certain class, you're gonna have that character more in, and then you're gonna be more interested in their story as time goes on. Okay, yep, still drawing. So this feels more like an old school Final Fantasy than one of the new school ones, which continued on to 10, and then I think 10-2 after that they kind of went, now each character's a blank slate again, you can do whatever you want with them. Yeah, definitely, because 11 was an MMO, so that doesn't count, but 12 you can essentially create classes and pick a class for your character. 13 again, each character kind of have like 3 different classes they can switch between, but that's due to the gameplay mechanics of that game. And then I think 15, anybody could use magic, but I think 15 technically doesn't really have classes, but each character does serve a different purpose. So, you know, but you can't switch classes. You can't suddenly have Noctis become a thief. But yeah, like old school Final Fantasy. This feels like 4, 5, 6, and 9 feel similar in terms of like class gameplay wise, classes. And again, you can see here, talking about the drawing again, cross-hatching. Yes, I'm back to the good old cross-hatching. I said I wasn't going to do it, and ended up doing it. And as you can see right there, someone played a beam card that got me T5 beams, and then someone played a counter card. So I didn't have to do that, and that caused some tension in the chat. Oh, God. Yeah, let's continue on the cross-hatching. The cross-hatching probably... No, the line work took the longest. We're doing a quick sketch here of Sappy, I think it is. Pirate Sappy. Yeah, okay, we'll just stop destroying for this time being. Oh god, what the f am I drawing? Oh, I apologise. I think okay, I'll do that later. I still don't think I finished that drawing. Oh, this was back in what? August, September? I think it's probably September I did this drawing, or August. Oh god. It's either September or August I did this drawing, and it's now late December, a couple of days after Christmas Day. Exactly 2 days after Christmas Day. And oh yeah, you down that Coke. or Pepsi. Not sponsored at all. Yep, just getting the cross-hatching done. This takes, yeah, I was going to say this takes the longest, but technically the line work took the longest, and then the cross-hatching takes the second longest, and then the colouring is probably the quickest. Oh yeah, I'm trying to sort out my camera. It's still summery time, so the sunlight from the windows and the blinds is causing like bits of my green screen to really mess up because it's not balanced. I don't really have a way at the moment to stop that from happening when the summer hits again. Right now it's winter, so it's not really a problem, but when you stream during the day when the sun's really bright out, it causes massive problems, so I'm gonna have to work out a way to fix that. I do have some like lights out, black blinds up as well, but there's so many windows here. I'm right next to my windows, which is where you can hear a lot of traffic as well. I don't really have a place to put my streaming. I don't really have a spare bedroom. This is a one-bedroom place. My old place, I did actually have a little area for streaming slash gaming slash office. It was an office area, but yeah, I don't have it in this place, so you make do with what you can. I've been here for a couple of years now, and it's fine. I've gotten used to it, but still haven't fully sorted out my setup yet. Yeah, 2 years and I haven't fully set up my setup, but that's mainly budgetary reasons. Alright, yeah, so now we're finally on the colour, so I just mark out areas of where I need the colour, certain colour to be. It's all on one layer, blah blah blah, nothing special here, just block it out, block it out, block it out, there we go. Yeah, that should be white, and then do the skin colour. No, I'm still doing the boots. Messed up on the boots slightly. Now doing the gloves. Now doing the metal bits. Doing the metal bits again. So many goddamn belts. Why is there so many belts? I've got a lot of trapped gas, apparently. That's fine. Ugh. Colour in, you son of a gun. Biscuit. Yeah. Yeah. I think I need to do more cross-hatching. It looks incomplete. I'm going to tell you now, it looks incomplete. God damn it. I think I'm doing the leather bits now, but then also wooden bits with the same colour. I'm not sure that's going to work out. And then do the eyes. Should probably do the skin. Okay, thank you. I'm doing the skin now. Yeah, again, I'm not sure how this is going to sync up with the actual video, so if it seems like I'm saying something that's already happened, yeah, for me it's happening right now. But for you, I've said it after the fact or before the fact's even happening. I'm either behind or I'm into the future. I don't know how the syncing is going to work up for this. But it should have been recorded at 30 frames per second, rendered out 30 frames per second, but oh well. I don't think I knew what colour to do the charm, but oh well. And now I'm just kind of sort of creating the blade edge, and now I'm doing the highlights. Yeah, those highlights look bad. And then I fade them so you can't notice them too much. I think I'm trying to thicken up the lines again. Oh, I'm experimenting with changing the line colour. And now I'm creating the background. Trying to create some nice contrast. Yep, yeah, I'm just playing with it. Okay, there we go, done. And that's the drawing. Doesn't even... Oh, that doesn't look right. Some areas need work again. Oh well. I think at this point I'm contemplating whether to go back to some of my older drawings and redo them again. And spoiler warning, I think I redo my first drawing I did on stream probably about a year ago. I think it's the next drawing. But thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.